reproduce, particularly hydrogel. It can bind to the nervous system and become a hybrid organic tissue or synthetic tissue. In other words, make you into a cyborg over time. Then there's neon green and luciferase. These are tags that they use that are bioluminescent, probably for tracking and tracing. So the delivery system is injected biosensors, light-emitting fluorescent signals, optical readers, 24/7 monitoring and programming to hook you up to cryptocurrency. And that is this patent, 060606, cryptocurrency system using body activity data from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Okay, so that's part of what's in the vaccines. You already know about treatments, and you know the good people who are here, and we've got Brian Cole, vitamin D, vitamin D, vitamin D. No one needed to die, Dr. Peter Corey, and of course our wonderful frontline doctors. Yes. And so I want all of you to do just what you're doing. You're going to have the DNA that reseeds the planet, okay? You're going to have it. The rest of them, there's no going back. Do not chase people into burning buildings. There's nothing that I can say that seems to stop anybody. So just pray to God, let the dead bury the dead. Don't let the lemmings trample you on the way to the cliff. Thank you.
Here's another thing, too. Me and a very good programmer I've known for almost 30 years. He's one of the best in the world. We had a little chatty-do on our phones the other day. And we came to this conclusion. And we really came to this conclusion. I don't believe in cryptocurrency. Neither does he. We think it's the biggest fantasy of all time. And we know what the end game is. What is the end game? Control. Exactly that. Crypto, if you look up the definition of crypto, it is someone that has an allegiance to communism. Please go look it up. I want you to. That's going to be the second definition of crypto. Just the word crypto. So we know what it means. We know the end game is absolute financial, but it's above and beyond that. It's above and beyond financial control. It is total electronic control. So if you have nanotechnology within the body itself, reporting back through some sort of wiring system, whether it be graphene, whether it be nanoparticulates, whether it be some sort of salts that is responding to and from the 5G network under the electronic panopticon, it doesn't matter. It's still control. China has come out under Shanghai right at this hour. They're experimenting with the cryptocurrency using the phones. That has been in place for about a year now anyway. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. In other words, when we're having this conversation, both of us don't believe it. We don't believe in it. It's not tangible. If I can't hold it in my hand, it doesn't exist. How much money do I got? Let's go ahead and look. All right. So this is this money? Well, yeah, I guess it's money. How much money we got? Let's see. We got $33. Imagine that. This is money as far as I'm concerned because I can hold it. It's tangible. Is it backed by anything? No, but it's tangible. I can hold it in my hand. Cryptocurrency is not tangible. It is not tangible. It's a fairy tale. It's the biggest joke in the world. It is the absolute manipulation of the classes, of all classes, between the rich, the poor. It is the biggest show ever created.
Charged human rights attorney. And, we're all being banned faster than you can shake a stick at it. So if you want to find me, you can go to leedundas.com. Can you hit the slide for me? That's Lee, L-E-I-G-H, because my mother had to give me extra. They decided they were going to see if they could find a way to legally sidestep parental informed consent so that little Johnny could get bribed with a donut after recess at kindergarten and go walking back to the nurse's office and roll his sleeve up and get this experimental protocol without his parents ever being the wiser. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I know exactly how I felt about that. And we only had about 24 hours notice, but we got 200 or 300 of my closest friends to come down to the next board meeting the next night, and we let them know exactly how we felt. Roll the video.
Lee Dundas, human rights attorney. Late last week, I am informed a meeting occurred between Orange County Health Officer Dr. Clayton Chow and Orange County Board of Education Superintendent Al Mahars, during which time they apparently tried to find a way to, quote, sides. This is off the internet. You can Google it. You know what else is gene research? Experimental COVID vaccines with the trans gene inside of it. If you don't believe me, go pull the EUA application for the J&J shot. I come from a long line of Eastern Europeans, Hungarians, and Romanian groups that fled the persecution of the Red Terror communist death squads in the early 1900s, and those of us who didn't make it to America ended up facing the Nazi death squads in the lesser-known Holocaust that was the Romani Holocaust. There is a reason my daughter is named Katya. Her Romani great-grandmother was Katerina Choma, and I, for one, have not forgotten the lessons of our history. The Third Reich did not end with experiments on children, nor when those children died. The Third Reich ended in 1946, when we put the doctors who committed these human experiments on trial in Nuremberg, and then we put them to death. It ended with the adoption of the Nuremberg Code, so we would never repeat the sins of history. And it states, and I quote, "The voluntary consent of this human subject is absolutely essential." Dr. Chow and Dr. Maharish, you are hereby on notice. Last week, you appear to have knowingly hatched a plan to sidestep and or violate international, federal, and state law, not just the Nuremberg informed consent language, but also the black letter law of the EUA, as well as California state law, which punishes, and I quote, "the willful failure to obtain a subject's informed consent by imprisonment in county jail for 1 year or the imposition of a $50,000 fine, or both." Through the planned insertion of experimental gene-altering protocols onto the very children you were elected and charged with protecting. And tonight we are asking the Board of Education for an immediate letter of censure to these individuals, and if they don't resign, for an immediate notice of termination, and that letter also needs to go to the professional boards because they have no business being in these positions. So help me God, the people of Orange County will hold this policy to account.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. You know, us lawyers can get pretty passionate, but when they come for your kid, it adds a little something extra, I think. So you might be surprised to hear this, but Orange County decided they were going to walk that little plan back after we hit them like that. All right, so then I thought I was going to get a day off, but I didn't, because the next day I woke up in Chapman University, which is a little religious college right down the road from where I live. They decided they were going to withhold the graduate degrees of their MBA class unless those MBA students rolled over and got this experimental COVID protocol. And they went one step further. They engaged what I contend was hate speech, or darn close to it. They bullied, they coerced, they harassed their students, and they called any of their students who would refuse to get this shot a procrastinator for whom no special accommodations would be made, and that procrastinator could sit out that semester, thereby never graduate, and it would be on their dime. So I don't know if you know about us lawyers, but we like to talk, and we also like to type. So Chapman University got a little love letter a couple days later, all 15 pages, and the same day they got that letter, they rolled it back. So then, thank you. So then I was really kind of hoping for a day off at this point, but who are we kidding? Everybody on this stage has worked 365 days in a row, probably about 18 hours a day. And the next day I woke up to find that the Board of Supervisors was going to release an electronic digital COVID-19 passport system into our county. Yeah, that's what they decided they were going to do. But their health officer had gone on to TV, KTLA Live, Channel 5 the day before, and said, you know, people seem to have a little problem with that term. It's a little bit, quote, controversial. So we're going to change the name so people don't know what the heck is going on. So that way, the rhinos on our Republican board, when concerned citizens call up and say, are you voting on a digital passport for COVID-19 inoculations, the secretary can go, nope, we're not. Nope, we're not doing that. And then the second thing they did, and this was really laughable, we're standing, some of the people up here on the stage with me, we're standing at the Board of Supervisors meeting. We're waiting for our turn to talk, and the one lady on the Board of Supervisors meeting has the audacity to say, this is not a policy of exclusion. Well, then she was speaking with forked tongue, because in the next sentence, she says the whole reason they want to do this is to open the county back up so they can all start going to Trader Joe's and Disneyland and sporting events again. So all of us people with a brain and a pulse are standing in line going blink, 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 blink. And I'm thinking quietly to myself, well, you know, I'm sure Hitler didn't think there were very exclusive policies either. And they weren't, so long as you were German. So long as you were German. But the real creme de la creme, cherry on top, was when our board decided they were going to pass the buck. They said, we aren't doing a digital vaccination passport system. We're just making the technology available so the stores can do it. I don't know how your year of masking and fighting the masks has gone, but I think we can all extrapolate from this point forward how it's going to go based on the little mask experiment. So I looked at that board and I thought to myself, you know, you can lipstick this pig 8 ways to Sunday. You can change the dang name 55 times. You can bury this in agenda item 28 and footnote 4 that's on page 88 of that. And we are still going to know that that pig is a lipstick pig. And so we stood up and we gave it to him again. Roll tape.
Lee Dundas, human rights attorney. Let me be nothing if not clear. You can call this anything you want, a vaccination verification system, a composite app, ink contract for $3.8 million buried in item 28. We all know it when we see it. It is a digital vaccine passport, and there's a reason Clayton Chao shied away from it on camera the other night and said people think it's controversial. Yes, it's controversial. It is the beginning and the end of Nazi Germany. It is show me your papers, please, before you pass. It is an electronic dog collar. And since when did Orange County become the People's Republic of China? You won't need Warsaw ghettos. I won't be able to leave my house because nobody will service me. Are you really okay with big tech knowing every place you've been, from Chipotle to the post office to Disneyland, because you had to scan it every single time you left your house? And do not for a second try to absolve yourselves saying, oh, the marketplace is going to do it. It's on Costco. It's on Disneyland. We're not doing it. That's like the guy who drove the cattle car to Auschwitz saying, there's no blood on my hands, unlike you all call it what it is. This is a Nazi plan, and you are the Fourth Reich if you vote for it.
Make no mistake, this is a second Holocaust, my friends. Hitler did not start by burning people in ovens. That is where he ended. Hitler started, and you can Google it, the first thing he did to consolidate his power is he closed non-essential businesses, as did Governor Newsom in my state. Second thing he did is he closed the churches and the schools because they are the heart of the family, and that is exactly what Newsom has done. And the fourth thing he did is he marked the people he didn't like so he could segregate them and discriminate against them and do worse. And this week in Orange County, California, that little cattle car came to our town. And Hitler started by changing 400 laws in the first 6 years of his reign of power. And my governor changed 400 laws in the first 6 months. The only darn difference between Hitler and Newsom, for the haters who think that it's not okay to analogize to Nazi Germany or that it's not warranted, there is only one difference between Hitler and Newsom, and that is that Newsom has done it 12 times faster than Hitler. So then I get off the plane in Tulsa, and I turn on my phone, which I'm beginning to think is a bit of a mistake this week, and I see LAPD, some of our finest men in blue, and don't get me wrong, I back the blue, I work with them, I do human trafficking work like the gentleman two before me. I love our cops. You couldn't pay me to do their job. But I saw a travesty. I saw LAPD muscling young, mentally challenged, mentally handicapped children to the ground and against their will while they are screaming, "I don't want it, I don't want it," jabbing them with an experimental medical protocol that they can't get through the animal studies without killing every animal. This is a eugenics program. That is the word for it. And California is falling. And I never ask for help. I never ask for help. And I am asking everybody within earshot in this room and elsewhere for help tonight. This is my SOS, because if we don't hold the line in Orange County, California, there's a darn good reason they targeted us. They knew if they could take that hill, they could take any hill. If we don't hold the line here, this little dog and pony show is coming to your town soon. We need to hold the line.
You know, when you tell people, listen, when things are set up in such a way and you try to show them and show them and show them and show them and prove it and prove it and prove it, and they're like, yeah, okay, maybe sort of, it's kind of hard. However, there's that old adage, there's an old saying, once on the net, always on the net. The good part is you can check it yourself in real time, which I'm going to give you the information, but you can check the information on your own computer, on your own time, whenever you want. I don't have to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you. But you can do it on your own time just by my words. Okay? Now check this out, ladies and gentlemen. The talk of the town right now is all about the vaccine passport. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. CNN put out I just saw just a couple of moments ago, CNN put out something, I think it was yesterday, suggesting that vaccine passport will be everywhere in a short order. That's very strange. And that's a strange name just in itself. But no, it's not, because everybody knows what a vaccine is worldwide. It's called something else in Russia. It's called something else in Japanese. It's called something else in Ukraine. It's called something else in Laos and Cambodia and South Korea, North Korea and China, whatever. But everybody knows what that is, and everybody knows what a passport is. Even though a passport is called something else in Mexico and something else in Iceland and something else in France and Germany, but we all know what it is. So when you combine the two together, you have vaccine passport. Now, we're going to give you a little history class. I'm not Italian. I know that I'm not Italian. My heritage is English and Passamaquoddy Indian. All right. So I'm not Italian at all. However, Milan, Italy is the financial hub of Italy. It's the equivalent of saying New York of the United States. New York in the United States. New York is the financial hub of the United States. Well, Milan is the financial hub of Italy. Period. The end. Now, what I'd like to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is for anyone that ever believed that this entire scenario in which we are all engulfed in worldwide was not the greatest show on earth, where the production was, let's just say, crafted years prior. Feast your eyes on this beauty right here, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm going to explain to you how I came across this information and why. All right, let's go ahead and pull it up together, shall we? For the people on the replay, until the links come up, I'll leave the link to this specific tweet that I posted earlier, and you can corroborate it easily. Yep, these people are serious. All domains were registered on the same day by the same person from the same exact location. The .com, org, info, and net. And what would that be? Vaccinepassport.com was registered out of Milan, Italy on, as you can see, 7/16 of 2016. vaccinepassport.net was registered out of Milan, Italy. On what date? 7/16/2016. Vaccinepassport.info was registered out of Milan, Italy on 7/16/2016. Vaccinepassport.org was registered out of Milan, Italy on 7/16/2016. There's the evidence right there. You're more than welcome to pull it up yourself. I want you to. You can see all the information associated with that. Why would that mean anything? Well, like I said, Milan, Italy is the financial hub of Italy. So how did I come across that? Well, I went ahead and typed into a Google search, vaccine passport, and an advertisement came up. And who was the advertisement by? CFR.org. Oops, who are they? Council of Foreign Relations. What? Yeah, exactly. And they want to give you a 2-minute kind of like heads up of what it's all about. When you think of the CFR, you think of the Council of Foreign Relations. And they usually have their hands in about everything. This is what enticed me to go look at the registration date for vaccinepassport.com, in which we found the .net, the .info, and the .org, all by the same person on the same date at the same location. Do you still think that maybe somehow, some way, that this is all just one big coinky-dink of 2020? Why would that matter? Well, under the Billy Goats plan, and there has been some sort of suggestion that the humans may become a product of the blockchain. That's why it would be important.